Welcome to Eliminating Caregiver Chaos, the podcast where we stop pretending caregiving is just about the tasks and start dealing with the real weight you're carrying, the emotional one. I'm DJ Castilleja, and I help family caregivers stop drowning in guilt, resentment, and burnout by teaching them how to actually process their emotions instead of just pushing them down and hoping for the best. Now, before we dive in, I want you to know this podcast is designed specifically for you, the caregiver on the go. Whether you're driving to yet another doctor's appointment, folding laundry, prepping meals, or stealing a few minutes in your car before you walk back into the chaos, I've got you. You don't need to sit down with a notebook or be in the perfect headspace. Just listen. Let this sink in while you're doing what you need to do. Today, we're starting something new. We've spent the last several episodes talking about the emotional mistakes caregivers make, the patterns that quietly crush you from the inside. Today, we're zooming out and looking at the bigger picture. We're talking about what is actually happening to you emotionally as a caregiver and why your cup keeps overflowing. Let's dive in. I want you to picture something with me. Imagine you are carrying a cup with you everywhere you go, every single day. This cup is uniquely yours. Its size, its strength, how much it can hold, all of that is shaped by your personality, your past experiences, your current circumstances, and even your physical health. No two caregivers have the exact same cup. And that matters because it means you cannot compare what you are carrying or what you can carry to what someone else can carry. Your cup is yours. Now, this cup represents your emotional capacity, how much emotional weight you can hold at any given time. And here's the thing, everything goes into it. Every feeling, every emotion, every responsibility, every challenge, every worry, all of it pours into that cup throughout the day. Some things are small drops. Your loved one is a little irritable this morning. A phone call interrupts your routine. You miss a meal because you were too busy to stop. Those are small drops, annoying but manageable on their own. But other things feel like heavy pours. Receiving bad medical news, being dismayed by a doctor who doesn't seem to have time for your questions, hearing a sibling say, and I know you've heard some version of this, you're the one who handles that. Those are heavy pours, and they fill up your cup fast. Now, here's something really important I need you to understand about this cup. It is not fixed. It changes. Some days your cup feels sturdier. You wake up rested. You feel supported. There's a little hope in the air. And on those days, you can carry more with less strain. The same challenges that would normally weigh you down feel more manageable. You have more patience, more capacity, more of yourself to give. But then there are other days when your cup feels smaller and fragile before you've even gotten out of bed. And on those days, even the small things feel heavy. Your loved one asks the same question for the fourth time, and it's before lunch, and something in you snaps, and then you feel guilty for snapping. That's not a character flaw. That's a cup that is already too full before the day even started. And that is why 2 days that look exactly the same on paper can feel completely different in your body. It's not what you're doing. It's how your cup already is when you wake up. Now, I want to talk about something that affects your cup in a way most people don't realize. Loneliness. Caregiving in isolation is like dropping a handful of ice into your cup. Think about that for a second. You haven't added anything new. No new responsibility, no new crisis, no new emotional weight. But suddenly, without adding a single drop, the space inside your cup shrinks. That's what loneliness does. It doesn't just add to what you're carrying, it takes away room you might otherwise have had. And this is why caregivers who are doing this alone, without a real support system, without someone who truly gets it, burn out faster. Not because they are weaker, but because their cup has less room. Every new challenge fills it faster. Every hard moment hits harder because there is no space left to absorb it. Here's what makes this especially tricky. As a caregiver, you are constantly pouring into this cup. The daily tasks, the emotions are ongoing. There are very few natural breaks. And over time, you get so used to carrying a full cup that you stop noticing how close to the brim you actually are. You just keep going. You keep functioning. You keep showing up. And you tell yourself, I'm fine, because you're still standing. But here's the truth. Whether you notice it or not, your cup has limits. Every cup does. And the longer you go without emptying it, without releasing what's been building up inside, the closer you get to that moment when one more drop, even a small one, sends everything spilling over. And that overflow, that is burnout. That's the moment your patience disappears completely. Your body gives out, your emotions take over, and you wonder how you got here, because each individual thing that filled the cup seemed manageable on its own. I want you to stop for a moment right now, wherever you are, and just ask yourself honestly, how full is my cup today? Not how full was it last week, not how full it might be tomorrow, right now, today, in this moment. How much room is left? Because here's what I know. Most caregivers I talk to are walking around with a cup that is 90% full on a good day, and they don't even know it. They've gotten so used to the weight that weight feels normal. But full is not normal. Full is not sustainable. And full is not what you deserve. So what do we do about it? That's exactly where we're headed in the next several classes. We're going to talk about what actually empties the cup, not just temporarily, not just a bubble bath and a walk around the block or going to the gym, but the real, lasting emotional release that creates space again. Space for energy, space for patience, space for your loved one, space for joy, space for your family. Yes, even in the middle of caregiving. But before we get there, I want you to sit with this question this week. Really sit with it. What emotions and events are filling my cup right now? You might even want to write those down. Not what should be filling it, not what you think you're allowed to feel. What is actually in there? Name it, all of it. The frustration, the grief, the resentment, the fear, the exhaustion. Give it a name, because you cannot empty what you haven't acknowledged is there. Now, this is part of emotional intelligence. Some people would even call this mindfulness, a personal examination of what I'm feeling right now. This is just an illustration using a cup, and everyone, even non-caregivers, have an emotional cup inside, and it's building emotions. And we're going to talk about what it looks like for that cup to overflow and what it looks like for us to remove what's inside that cup. You are doing something incredibly hard, and the fact that you're here paying attention to your emotional health in the middle of everything you're managing, that matters more than you know. If today's episode resonated with you and you want to go deeper with this work, I want to invite you to visit us at eliminatingcaregiverchaos.com. Everything we talk about in this podcast, the emotional patterns, the burnout cycle, the tools for processing what you're carrying, we work through all of it in a structured, supported way inside our membership. If you're ready to stop just surviving caregiving and start leading with clarity and confidence, that's where you come next. The link is also in the show notes. And if this episode helped you today, please hit subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment, and share it with another caregiver who needs to hear this. You'd be amazed how many people are carrying this weight alone, just waiting for someone to tell them they're not the only one. Next episode, we're going deeper into what happens when that cup overflows and what burnout actually looks like when it shows up in your life. And you don't want to miss this. Until then, the chaos doesn't have to be permanent. We're eliminating it together. Take care of yourself out there, and I'll talk to you next time.